This is a really long video, essentially for those who might want to spend the day with us as we go on a 20-kilometer hike and, you know, just life reflections along the way on a number of topics. Stress, grief, just life unfolding, but in this, just so interesting to see how being in this beautiful environment inspired, you know, all of that reflection. So it was pretty cool until the dogs ran away. Well, we are embarking on our morning hike, and I'll have to let you know what the creature's been saying to me. This creature has been trying to stop me from going. Beautiful morning. It's about 11 degrees Canadian right now, and it's supposed to be sunny for the day. So I think we're looking at kind of a minimum 8-kilometer hike, more likely 10. So I felt I had to prepare. I mean, I've often walked that far in a day, but not lately, and not into a place where the signal is not so good, or I don't even know if there will be one. Not where it's just secluded from human activity. So my creaturely brain has been very busy trying to cook up scenarios of risk. It even caused me to bring a bungee cord with me. Well, what if you sever an artery? Can't really feel my fingers. I was trying to open one of the trailer windows and the window broke, and it cut my, I think my radial artery. So they've fixed it, and I'm in Kingston Hospital right now. Like, seriously, it's funny to hear what the creature has been saying, and I'm just thinking how fortunate I feel to at least now be able to see and know that that's my creature talking, rather than just, you know, believing every word that my brain comes up with to say to me, and recalling and thanking the brain for doing its job of trying to get me not to take any risks so that I will stay alive. Well, thank you, brain. But it also causes a little bit of stress chemistry in the body. Like, I've been feeling that the last couple of weeks. Like, just more short of breath, like, and tension, you know, in my chest. You're having a heart attack. No, it's not that. Interestingly, I actually did have chest pain, and so I had actually it checked out. I didn't think it was cardiac, but they gave me the workup, and it wasn't. It was gastric. It was like a gas cramp high up in my esophagus area. The esophagus. It's a funny word. Anyway, we are going to be on this road for about 3 or 4 kilometers Canadian. And then apparently you can access the park that technically only can be accessed by water. So it'll be an adventure. Let's see where we get. It's uphill. And my creature, boo-boos. So the creature has been reminding me that I'm a hypocrite. And that is, in one aspect, true. Oh, Rosie found a puddle. That's good. Because in spite of all the things that I'm working to change, the biggest item that I think, well, not the biggest difference perhaps, but equal to the diet is alcohol. I have been consuming way too much alcohol because it's my way of actually easing the tension I feel in my body. And there are other ways. My partner Peter is good at that. He's so great with his hands. And foot massages, and so that's great. And clay. But for now, I've been leaning rather heavily on those 3 beers a night to relieve the tension and allow me to fall to sleep more easily. And I think that if I could find another way to relax and eliminate that, that would be one of the biggest changes that I could make. That would be positive for everything. So my creature keeps reminding me that, well, you may have changed your diet, but what about the elephant in the room? And so I say, thank you, creature. Thank you for calling me out. However, the fact that there's the elephant in the room, there's no need for me to just continue to sit in front of a TV every night with a 2-liter bottle of pop and a bag of Doritos on the fast track to disability and death. You know, I have prediabetes or diabetes already, type 2, as evidenced by above normal fasting blood sugars, which I have measured off and on over a period now of years. So, and that is completely related to my diet and weight gain. So, in spite of all the tension and the calling out of the body, of the creature, and all of its thoughts, I will continue on this quest, getting up early, making the most of each day, accomplishing as much as I can when the world is quiet, you know, like grocery shopping at 7 a.m. And that has been a huge change into feeling more in control of my life and more in control of the direction of it, getting more done, getting more creative work done, and planning, like planning this trip. The thought of this trip and this hike actually motivated me to get in and wash the floor at work at like 6:15 in the morning on Friday. I was like, are you actually gonna do that? So, alarm went off at 4:45, and there I went, and I found myself, geez, you're actually doing it. You know, the creature was like, are you really gonna do that? And I was like, I think I am. So it's this conversation, and someone I was speaking to recently, who's very near and dear to my life, referred to that voice as the asshole in my head. And I have to say, I don't think mine is much of an asshole. It's just more now a function of calling me out. And it will try to shut me down, but it doesn't really insult me or insult my value. You know, it's more of a trying to keep things the same, trying to place limits, trying to avoid situations of risk or discomfort. But it's interesting, like, it didn't say to me, You'll never do that. It said, are you really gonna do that? And I was like, I think so. I think I might be. Anyway. I love that sound of the wind when a gush of wind comes through. What I think are these foxgloves. You just see how there's some genetic variety. Normally the dark purple, you know, but then there's these ones that are lighter and even lighter, and then almost white, and then there is actual white. And I remember that with sweet peas, how you get genetic anomalies. And look, see, like the daisy. So like the daisy here, that would not be your flower store perfect daisy, which I love, meaning I love that it's not your flower store perfect. And, you know, there's little varieties, but I find that's what is so cool. Like these anomalies, I look at them as very cool, you know, not ugly or defective or even imperfect, just variations. And there was a time in my life where I thought a lot about daisies and why, you know, why when we look at ourselves, do we, you know, why do we expect, I don't know what, I don't even know what to call it. I think the word for it is perfect or perfection, but it gives me even attention to say that word, because I don't even, like, what is that exactly? Like, can that even be defined? A horse crossing. Interesting. Watch for horses and walkers. Huh. Maybe I better leash the dogs. At the end of the road, and we're at 2.6K from the parking. And I see a sign and a gate. And I wonder if this is the park. And I saw a huge pile of fresh horse poo. So probably good that we got the girls corralled here. BC Parks. We are in the park. How exciting. No ATVs. No motorbikes. No marijuana. No vaping. No cigarettes. Because Lord knows secondhand smoke would be a problem out here. Gotta love BC. It's all about personal freedom. They don't try to control you that much out here. The environment. I love the environment. I'm a nature lover. Just they're so, I mean, our human lives have such naturally imposed limits anyway, you know, needing to sleep daily, needing to eat about daily, you know, or thereabouts to survive. And then they got to tell you, when you're in the middle of nowhere, you better not light a cigarette because it might pollute the air. Oh my God, look. I'm not sure where I am on this map. You know, there's a gate right there, but I have a trailhead, so it makes me wonder if I'm actually here. Park host. So, Seteal Ridge Trail, Ridge Loop Trail, Raymond V. Smith Interpretive Trail, Sandstone Campground. Oh, Maple Bay and Coon Bay. I think we should try and get there. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna assume I might be here and see if I reach the sandstone campground within about a kilometer and trail that way. Here we go. My boots were so wet, like sopping, soaking, puddly, squishy wet. So I never expected to be wanting to wear my steel toes hiking, but in a pinch, seems to be working out. Pretty trail. I'm pretty excited that we made it. This the almost forbidden land by boat only. Near the ocean already. You can see it through the trees there. It's an elevated, very smooth, slippery way down to the water, which we will not do. I'll keep going. Loved ones, look, there's a bench. I wonder who it's in memory of. Jane Lemon, 1953 to 2014, artist at home in nature. Cher mère espousse chérie. Aw. Jane. Oh, you silly. What have you found now? Oh, this is pretty. And it's a less steep access to get down there, so. Very nice. Very nice. There. Looks like it might be a good lounge chair. Was good. There was a nice curve in the rock that helped stretch out my solar plexus area of my back. So yeah, that was good. Good call. Beautiful flora and fauna. Honestly, this little dip also looks like the perfect lounge chair. I just looked up Jane Lemon. She was beautiful. And I didn't know her. But I know what it's like to lose people. And then it occurs to me like, hey Dumbo, you lost someone pretty significant a couple of months ago. Is it possible that you have some grieving to do? But and I mean that in the most loving way. Sometimes I'm just not very bright. And that's not the asshole in my head. That's me laughing at myself. Because I think we have to. Or at least I have to. It's brought me great sense of peace to be able to laugh at the silly things that I do. The silly things that my creature mind dreams up. Oh, this is a beautiful, beautiful trail. Oh, there's a bell. Just hanging there. I wonder if it's for Jane. Here we go again. And the little flowers. I can smell the little flowers. Oh. And we are right on the edge of the shore. Gorgeous. Probably somebody fishing in that boat. Yeah. Maybe that tension in my chest is, a need to have a good cry. Open the heart. Another layer. Peel another layer of the onion. Open the heart. Yeah, because it's tension, it's resistance, isn't it? That feeling. And I can have 2 or 3 beer and ease that feeling of tension. But yesterday, I had a long talk with my goddaughter, and somehow we interestingly elevate each other's thinking. She said, we're like a portal or something for channeling. Yeah, but I feel smarter when I'm speaking with her, and the questions that she asks, and sometimes these just very low-key, not a lot of emotion, thoughts just sort of pop in as if they're not mine. And she's like, oh my God, I'm writing this down. So, yeah, I had a nice long chat with her. And then I sent her my affirmation song, which I got the AI app to compose the music. And I just put the affirmations in so that I could try and remember them. Anyway, listening to it, I actually started to cry. I felt a lot. And it was a good feeling right in my chest. So it would seem I do have a little processing to do. And I apologize for the angle. I know it's not the greatest angle. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm almost 56. It's June 1st. And I shall be 56 in a few days. If I'm fortunate to get there. It's looking good so far. So, I'm 56. I find myself caring less and less about how I appear, or making sure that I look good. Because, I don't... Oh, there's a bench with no person's name on it. But a beautiful view. I'll have to show it to you. That's the view from bench number 2 that I found on this hike. So far, unnamed. Random thought. I would like to make a camping version of a distiller apparatus so I could distill seawater. Holy, check this trail. Oh, it's like the greenery is above my head. Woo. So Ali and I were talking yesterday about spiritual and about attaining this state, where we're not attached. And my sense is this, that as long as we are in the creaturely body and participating in creaturely activities like love and like physical love, sexual love, mating, I don't think we're ever going to truthfully, authentically get past this whole thing of being attached. And I don't know that we should. Because as we are living these creaturely lives, having a family, it would be very bad to be completely unattached to, the persons and outcomes. And so I think it's to recognize that a certain amount of attachment is inescapable when you are participating in this animal life, the human animal life. Now you can choose, I think, to become a monk and a nun. You would still need sleep, and you would still need food, And you may then be able to have that general love and compassion for the fellow sentient creatures in your midst and on this planet. But it's like you're either in or you're not. It's one path or the other. Oh, gut chakra said something. I just mean down in the intestines. Said something in response to that. I don't have words for it yet, but okay. It's to recognize it's not all in or all out, perhaps. Ooh, that tree is dead. But it's to recognize that there'll always be that duality. And yes, I think you can come to a point of peace, but you have to have compassion for that side of you that is the creature. Not deny or dismiss because it seems silly, but just truly respect it. Respect and be grateful. Like I actually, and I meant it, thanked my body this morning as we started that hike. And I said, thanks for getting me here. You know, thank you for having feet that work, legs that work, that have brought me to this beautiful place on this beautiful day. Wow, I still feel a lot of tension in my chest. Yeah, probably need to arrange somehow to have a good cry. Maybe I have to watch like the Bridges of Madison County or something. Some other tearjerker. Kind of like lubricate the wheels, get it going. Yeah. I haven't tried that yet as a mode of releasing this current amount of tension. So it looks like we're at the campground. Oh, it's cute. And it's like $5 a night. I have the urge to camp here. Ooh, look. Numbers. Uh-oh, there's people. So I managed to get them leashed, but is that not a freaking incredible campsite? That's spot number 30. Oh no, this is spot number 30. Also incredible. Oh, love it. We're so coming camping. I thought my days of tenting were over, but if it means getting to stay up here, I may have to do it. There's 3 young women there with bicycles, and they have special bicycles that work in the water because this park is only accessed by water. Anyway, I said hello to them, and they actually did not respond. It's like you're actually in the middle of nowhere and you see a person and they greet you with their friendly voice. Dennis Gleason, hello, he always used to say, and I love it, and I find that tone exits my lips quite often. Dear old Dennis, hello. He had such a lovely South African accent. Anyway, my little creaturely feelings are hurt because we're in the middle of nowhere and they didn't even respond, which actually made me want to walk up and go, hey there bitches, how's it going? You know, but it's like, why? God, God, women can be just so cruel to each other. It's usually over by grade 7, 8, it's usually the worst, but then a lot of women, then they hit my age or the 60s, where their hair is white and long and they're out wearing their hiking gear. A lot of the ones that have yelled at me have been in that group. Occasionally it's been a man, but that's rare. Well, I can let the girls go. They don't have dogs with them. They probably don't like dogs. Anyway, they certainly didn't appreciate seeing another human. Yeah, I think, I try not to dwell, but thinking about that man who, the dogs simply ran almost like past him, and they barked. Sadie especially barked as she was passing him. It was kind of like a woof, 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 and they kept going, and they had no focus on the man. But he had a huge tripod. It was like extended like 5 feet, and he's carrying it. And I could have had them out of the area so much quicker, but he just laid in and yelling. And I was like, you have a big stick. You just startled them. And, but he was having I would have apologized, actually. Obviously, he was terrified. He's like, I'll kick them if they try to bite me or something. And I was like, okay, that's fair. I agreed. But he was so busy yelling at me that I, was distracted from actually getting them out of the area and under control. Unfortunately, they didn't respond to this man yelling at me. Anyway, at some point, he referred to me as a Karen, and and I said, that's right. My first and last name is Karen. And just remember my face scrunching up in some kind of really furious looking way. And he goes, go ahead, hit me. That's assault. And I just said, oh, man. I've never actually called any man a pussy before that moment. But I just said, oh shit, man, you are a pussy. Pussy man. And he goes, you're a bitch. And I said, yeah, I am. Don't forget it. So that was really stressful. I fully lost my temper. I went full whiskey Irish on the guy. Yeah, like I said, I don't believe in even using that word pussy, especially since pussies can take a beating. Should have called him like a ball sack or something, because ball sacks really can't take a beating. However, oh, this is beautiful. We're coming upon something, some kind of sign. Yeah. Oh, that is a gorgeous piece of arbutus. Oh, there's an outhouse. Yeah, so normally it's women. And see how interesting it is? I had the experience, but obviously it was just, so the occurrence was to walk by some humans, to greet them, and have no response, completely like sort of half look and ignore me. And that triggered this whole habitual thought loop about women, how they treat each other, And, you know, grade 7 and 8, thinking of what my daughter went through, thinking what I went through, thinking of all the stories I've heard. And then, you know, 60-plus-year-old women. There's so fewer of them on these islands. Like I've met several women now in that age group, and they are chilled out. They are super chill. So anyway, I'm gonna check out this sign, and then we've got to go out to the point. It's getting windy. I just passed through Sandstone Campground, and now I think I'm at this Stevens Point. So I'm gonna go check it out. That is pretty. Pretty. Oh yeah. We are so going out to that island. And the water looks so clear. Fred and Peggy Smith wed on June 23rd, 1968. Home. A marriage of sea and mossy shore together. Our families bond forever. So happy. How happy they look. Oh, island must be Dionisio Point. I was just thinking about the wisdom of that young Sicilian that I once spent almost 3 years with. This man had absolutely no sense of shame or having emotions. He had no sense of weirdness about sexuality, affection. He was just like, it's natural. So I remember him saying after a friend had passed that he's like, well, I just have to cry it out. That hasn't happened yet. And, you know, there's all this talk about men, but it was a man who taught me that. The only person. Oops, I kissed. Pretty amazing this is the most people I've seen, and we're in the middle of nowhere. Quite literally the middle of nowhere, and see bicycles that are made to act like boats. That's what these guys have, because this place can only be accessed by water. And I've got special water shoes, and we just floated across the water and we got here. There is a well, a hand pump well. It's amazing. The Coon Bay Plank House, 1,000 to 700 years ago. The village, a single plank house existed here behind the beach at Coon Bay between 1,000 and 700 years ago. A large structure, 40 meters long and 10 meters wide, made of cedar planks. The structure actually housed many families and as many as 60 people. It was a small village itself. The village was located in a spot with a view shed of much of the coast Salish world, from Puget Sound to the northern Strait of Georgia to Vancouver Island in the west. It also sat on an important pass that acted as a corridor connecting the inner Gulf Islands to the mainland. Dug out with cedar canoes known as snowwall. Okay, I'm gonna have to ask for help on that one. Anyway, a human went by. It's so interesting to end up here and see more people than I've seen the whole weekend. This is gonna be quite the view. Quite the view, I expect. Hopefully I don't get yelled at. That would really kind of dampen the moment. Pretty amazing. Might have to try some barefoot earthing, as they say. Beautiful sand. Just an amazing spot. Oh my god, look at that dog. Come on, Sadie. Sadie, let's go. We're climbing up to the island. Well, here we go. I got them back. Bastard dog. Bastards. Wild. I saw black. Oh, look at that. Red and black in that rock. Amazing. Wow. Amazing. And a lot of the Galiano shore, I've seen this. You know, and up at Hornby, but it never ceases to amaze me. It's just so cool and other planetary in appearance. And look at all those bugs. Give the dog some water, maybe have a little breakfast. Seal. Popped its head up a minute ago. There's a natural bench up there. I wonder if it's dry enough to sit. Okay, here we are. We're sitting in the rock. A little perfect.
It's all of us. It fits us. There's Sadie. There's me. There we are. That's funny.
Hey, Boo-Boo. Sadie. Hello. 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 Hi. I'm gonna get up this sandstone. The creature has been slightly activated. Yep. The creature has been activated. Oh, let's take a look around, get the bigger picture. That's where we're at. Look at that grass. Just blowing. That's a different person, I think, down there. This is a truly incredible spot. You can see something on the point over there. And snow-capped mountain. We've been having a nice little picnic. There was actually a dog too. And a human male. Now they barked at the human male, interestingly. I've got Sadie on the leash because there's birds. And that's just fun for her. And there's a lot of people around that I suspect would not find that very funny. So it occurred to me that I'm not actually that worried about the dogs, because they don't actually hurt anybody. What I'm worried about is the people. The reactions of the people. I think my nervous system is overloaded from all the scrutiny and the yelling over the past couple of years. Year and a half mainly. Yeah. Anyway, we're having a non-Bear Mountain picnic. I still have hair. My legs still work. I'm not bald. Anyway, it's cool. Done enough filming on this hike that my battery is actually, I had to plug in my spare battery. So that's, it's cool. And this is a beautiful island, little island, Dionisio Point. I am crooked. I am crooked. We are crooked. Isn't that weird? We're in this place and look at it's off, the world is off kilter. It's off kilter. Anyway, beautiful Arbutus, and I have it in my mind. I would like to come and sit on this island overnight. I'd be cut off access by the tide, and I just think it would be really cool to see what the creature would be thinking this whole time as I would sit on this small piece of rock, mostly surrounded by water. I think it'd be cool. I think we should plan it. Planet adventure. Planet. Planet I don't know what. I see a mountain over there. And there's like poofy clouds right above the mountain. And then there's this layer, like a straight line of gray. Anyway, letting the battery charge up, and I might just take a little look out on those rocks over there. I wanted you to see what I'm seeing as I'm on my little walkabout. That's the wind. I'm a June girl, and it's June 1. If you can read all that, I can't remember what it says. Something about my heart on my sleeve and a mouth I can't control. Anyway, it's June 1. Happy June, everybody. I think that's a pretty beautiful touch wood. Always pulling in her own direction, hey? My aim is to get back here before the sea gets so wild as to wash these logs away and destroy my perfect platter placement. Honestly, I would take that because it's so gorgeous, but I'm on foot. The Dionisio Point picnic is closed. It's closed. And we are on to another point. Oh my God, I'm just like, the colors, man. The colors. Why are you guys so in the way all the time? Got to walk right in the way. Oh my gosh, look at that freaking rock. That is freaking stunning. Somebody's ready to be playful. Yes, yes. Woo, woo, play, play. Okay, Lala. We just left this little almost an island, Presque Île, and we're heading around to maybe this other point. There's the dog hiding in the grass. Oh, keeping Sadie on the leash because there is another dog around somewhere, and there are cyclist camping people that are not very friendly. Then there was a man, and he was friendly, but I'm just being cautious. Anyway, look at this party. I'm probably gonna let her go once we get around this corner. There's a bee. There's a bee who wants to land on the camera. Yeah, so right now there's a little place, a picnic spot that I think you can't access at high tide, maybe. Maybe not. Thousands of years ago, Aboriginal people began to use the resources around Galiano Island. The site before you was a seasonal village known as, in the language, a place of serenity. Ooh, eggs, bulbs, plants, roots, berries, clams and mussels, wow, salmon, other fish and seals were harvested. Evidence of this culture is contained in these middens, layers of shell ash, charcoal bone, and fire-cracked rocks. Built on older middens, the shallow rectangular depressions you see here are all that remain of the large plank houses that once stood in the village. Wow, 1500 to 2000 years ago. That's so cool. Wow, that's the information about the peoples. The peoples, remains of a native village. Let's have a look. Isn't it amazing? Again, it speaks to how everything we do is eventually erased. That's a native village. So I guess that's how it looked. Large, including 5 cedar plank houses, housing at least 200 people. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. Everything I do will be erased. Everything we do will be erased, except for nuclear waste. Everything we do will be erased. Your body, your mind, the buildings, just not the nuclear waste. I've got to figure out how to grieve Dan. And I think it's hard to do because we didn't see each other all the time. We went through years of not seeing each other much at all. But we've had so many significant conversations over the years. And he's formed so much of my mental structure, my foundation. I refer to him as one of the carpenters of my modern adult self. How do you, and sometimes I haven't actually had a moment where I forget that he's gone. I really feel it. I'm just not sure how to grieve it. I mean, I do understand that energetically nothing is created or destroyed, right? Physics, it only changes form. And I know that. And I've had marvelous connection, to my mom, my dad, Peyton, Steve, friends, that I've lost. And there comes a point where I feel them. Like that they're just with me in every step. And sometimes, a moment, I'll hear what they would have said. They give me advice, and it's a really lovely thing. And Dan has given me advice when he was present on the planet. There was a spot where he lived in my mind, or sitting on the shoulder. I don't know. And that will continue. But in spite of what I know, intellectually, there's still this body, this attachment, this body. I have to honor the creature. And the creature has a heartache. Maybe that's what it is. This tension is a heartache. Yeah, you'd have a good cry. This place is so freaking beautiful. You gotta see this. Apparently no camping is allowed in this area. And I think there might be even like some version of a warden here. A caretaker. I mean, when you see a broom inside an outhouse and the outhouse is spotless, that reminisces of an on-site caretaker. I actually don't think I've seen an outhouse that clean. Oh. All people up there. I don't know if you can see it. I can't even see it. Oh, I barely can see it. Almost got the soaker. I got the soaker. I wonder if it's healed and if it's just scarred. Look at those. Something really got a hold of that snake. Hey, boo-boo. Hi. Aww. See you, boo. Here's the trail, Layla. 6 to 12 inches wide, and a cliff. My favorite. It's my favorite.
The trail there.
See how wide it is? And in these big clunky boots, it just feels like it would be easy to trip. At least that's what the creature keeps reminding me. You're gonna trip. Well, on the road. You're a chicken fucker. We're gonna crash. Inside joke. It was from watching that documentary on Tourette's camp. Check it out. It's good watching. Yeah. The trail is lush. And small. I'm loving the wind and that the surf is wild. Oh, the bubbles. And we're just trying to get to this point that I could see has some kind of device, some kind of human-made device. I think we're finally almost there to the point with the human-made device. There's Arbutus, and it is beautiful, gorgeous. And there's the device. It's on that next point, but looks like a solar-powered kind of lighthouse thing. I'm satisfied. I'm not going to carry on. Oh, gorgeous. Ooh, to be bopping around on that surf. I'm wondering point the park ends and a reserve of native land begins. I might be close up now. Anyway, I'm going to start back. That land right over there is a whole other island. I forget which one. I'm sitting under an arbutus tree. This is a wonderful place to attain enlightenment. Maybe someday I will sit here and attain enlightenment. Oh my God, there is a seal staring at us. Wow. Oh my God, the little face. And it looked like it was young. It was like gray. There it is. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, I can see it white under the water. The problem I've discovered is that I found a feeling being on these islands that was just so much of something that I've been missing. Then now I'm unhappy in Victoria. I don't want to be there anymore. That looks like scat. That looks like scat. Oh yes. Maybe We are at 8.8 kilometers. Just heading up from the beach. I am going to take the chance and make the assumption that this is the connector trail that goes back. It's going uphill. Look at that tree. The tree that grew out of the other tree. It's a massive stump, and now we've got another tree. Wondering if this is one of the ruins, but it can't be. It can't be because it's not cedar. It's got metal. Okay, never mind. Hoping we're on the right path. We are beside a marsh right now. We came to a fork where we could have gone left or we could have gone right. And I was thinking maybe to go right would take you further up to the top of the ridge. Could be totally wrong. And then there was another fork where you could go left. That's where I found that ruin of something. And then there was another actual fork in the road. This was the one more traveled by. So, anyway, we'll see. I can make it back to the ocean and find my way back the way I came in if I have to. But this is a good little experiment. Checking out a new trail, new spot. Sadie has barked at 2 people. I've had to give her 2 timeouts on the leash. It's a fucking pain in the ass. I wish she'd settle the fuck down. Anyway, they were good about it. Like, you know, I'm out here, man, really trying to relax. And that's so weird. I haven't had this much tension in me, at least that I was aware of, for quite some time. It's like just carrying tension right in my chest. Anyway, either way, some really nice moments today. Ooh, check out this, the glow. Wow. These nice cairns along the way. We are at 10.7 kilometers. And I'm wondering if actually this marshy pond is what they call the Lachlan Lake, or something with an L. Anyway, I'm wondering that because I think we're on the wrong road. Good girls, good girls. The birdies. We are back where we were earlier, and it's empty. It's completely empty. And then on this side, it's really windy. So indeed we are actually here, and we went around this way and here and here and here, and then I think we accidentally took this road quite a ways and then turned around and went back, walked back around the water, went and sat here again, which we just got this whole sandy bay is empty of water, and then we've come back along this what looks like a 2-lane with grass in the middle kind of road. Whew. I remember seeing a gate, and then there was a lake or pond, so I think we actually walked further than that. We're at 14 kilometers, 14.7 kilometers of walking. My feet are a little sore, and we still got a little ways to go. So anyway, I feel the cardio has been exercised, my knees, my legs, everything. So that's good. Well, the dogs were missing for more than an hour, and some cyclists ended up seeing them. So anyway, I'm going to take a bath using that pot of warm water. I don't have time now to get back on time to make it to a rec center. Thank you so much, dogs. So it's really nice, at least that on Galiano I can do something like this without a million onlookers. I don't have a lot of water, so I'm doing the conservation method. This will be, you know, not as good as the double shampoo in the shower at the rec center, but at least my water is warm, which is often not the case at the rec center. I will be passable for clean in the morning, going to work. Probably going to be a little late now. Anyway, the dogs are alive and I never have to let them off the leash again. In some ways it's going to be a real drag, in other ways it's going to be less stressful because they're not going to go running up barking to people because they're going to be on a leash. They're never going to run away again because they're going to be on a fucking leash. I'm pretty pissed. I'm pretty damn pissed at them. Anyway, phase 2 is the body. I'm going to do a quick touch-up of that, but I'm not filming it. Maybe I am. You have to be quick. You gotta be quick. Oh, I look like some kind of... Oh, look at my new hair. Put the soap on. Put the soap. Ooh. There you go. There you go. It's, I'll be presentable. The Sicilian used to say, huh, you do that, eh? I'm glad someone does that. He's referring to, he thought it was people, and they took the towel and did that in the cartoons. Well, we made it. We're lined up for the ferry. We're all in one piece. Except that my toes are really sore from 19.5K. Just waiting for the ferry. 8:20 p.m. We made it. The bastards are fairly tired, but see? Sadie, still got more energy. Yeah. Not impressed with the girls right now. Some very weird sounds coming out of that mic.
Once again, the vessel in the dock is the sailor clearing and is bound for Swanson on the mainland only.
That's the one we came over on Friday night. It waited for us at Main Island. And this is what the lineup looks like. There's all these lanes. And there we are, the native plants. I've seen that one. And then that looks like, is that blueberries? The sword fern, strawberry, twin flower, red flowering currant, tall orange grape, evergreen huckleberry, and yerba buena.
Any foot passengers should be at the seaward end of the wharf and wait there until
I've managed so far to only do 54.8 kilometers since I filled up. Here we go again. Leaving beautiful, beautiful Galiano.